duration of our enslavement. There's 44 million acres of lawn in the United States alone, and it takes more pesticides, more chemicals, more human resources than any other crop, and it does not provide food for us. When we supplant 50% of our lawns with natural, edible plants, edible landscapes, if all we did were take out the ornamentals in our HOA communities and supplant them with food-producing plants, we would turn those biological deserts, those death zones that we call our properties and our yards, into life. The amount of butterflies and birds and insects and microbiome will literally go infinite. It's so epic what can be done. And what I'm going to share is not the hypothetical solution to all of the world's problems. It's the demonstrable solution to mass extinction and deforestation. It's the demonstrable solution to cancer and heart disease and diabetes. It's the demonstration to world hunger and tyranny. This is the solution. When we simply turn our backs on the slave system in every way, and we start using our resources, starting with our hearts and our minds, wisely, with faith and courage, then we change the world. Amen. It starts right here. Well, it starts right there with our flag. That is the civil peace flag. And I'm starting to learn about the language of enslavement, and I'm still like a third grader at this language. So there's infinitely more that I don't know than I do know, but I do know that legal is the undoing of God's law. Right? When we have to supplant a legal system and a British accreditation registry system with simply doing what's just and right and wonderful in every way, that is a major thing to be aware of. And by awareness, you know, the word choice is almost always misused. Choice, the word, implies that there's an awareness of choice. But if there's not an awareness of choice, then there is no choice. So we create the awareness through the messaging. And there's so many miracles. So 2 years ago, I started seeing this place for what it could be. And I was telling everybody listening on many podcasts, world leaders. By the way, this is Galt's Landing. Anybody read Atlas Shrugged? Yeah. John Galt, who is John Galt? This is about the power of the individual who has a dream, and the looters. That book is so relevant in today's world. So, and that was my partner Brian, who owns that house, he lives here. That was his, he got that book from his father when he was 16 years old. His last name is Hickok. He's a descendant of Wild Bill. It's a perfect match. So I started seeing this property as a catalyst for change at scale. And there's a runway. He's a pilot, so there's a mile-long paved runway right on the other side of this thing. So I've been telling people that we are going to bring in world leaders from around, there'll be world leaders from around the world, the good ones, the new ones that we are helping to bring into office. And these world leaders are going to be flying in here, and we're going to have conferences to demonstrate freedom. Well, guess what? You just came on a bus instead of a plane. You're already here. It's happening. Intention. You know, Napoleon Hill, after studying the most successful people in the history of the world, deducted whatever the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. I believe that. The Bible says the same thing. So to all the great religious texts and spiritual texts, I can conceive and believe that we're going to change the fucking world.
Let's do it. Yes. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. Warning, no trespassing. You can enter this property only if you have the owner's or legal occupant's written or verbal permission. You are a U.S. mail carrier or a commercial delivery service, or you are a responsible to a medical or a fire emergency, or you possess a valid constitutional Fourth Amendment warrant signed by a judge with proper jurisdiction, showing probable cause and the specific places and things to be searched. Revocation of implied consent. We give consent, not we, but the people in the world give consent because they don't know that they can deny that consent. And to create awareness through messaging at scale that you can deny that consent is the key to freedom for our world. So, further, the owners or legal occupants of this property, by authority granted under the 10th Circuit case, hereby revoke the implied license. And then it gives court cases. Right? This is not just some hopeful wish or dream. This is backed up by court law. And I'm not a fan of governmente. I truly believe that the key to solving our world's problems is not by following mind control, govern to manage, control, or steer, and mente is mind. The opposite of governmente in permaculture, we like to turn the problem into the solution. Governmente, mind control, programming is the problem. The solution is a light mente, or simply a mind free of programming. This doesn't mean we can bend metal. This doesn't mean all these things that the other forms of governmente would have us believe. It simply means that our minds are clear and we are free of the slave's programming. Goethe said, none are more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe they are free. Right? When we are strong enough to realize that we have been slaves, that's when we go, holy shit. And then we have a choice. Do we want to live in slavery or do we want to live in freedom? And faith and courage are the energetic frequency foundation of freedom. So come on in here and it gets way better, my friends.